It's been 13 years since Robin Gibb, the legendary BG, passed away, but the whispers and rumors surrounding his personal life never truly disappeared. Fans and tabloids speculated endlessly, but answers remained elusive, buried beneath years of mystery and private grief. Now, decades later, Robin's children are finally stepping forward, confirming what many suspected but no one dared say aloud. The revelations are shocking, deeply personal, and undeniably human. They touch on aspects of Robin's life that were always carefully guarded, blending love, loss, and hidden truths that only his family could truly know. For years, the world saw Robin as the talented singer, the iconic performer, and the figure immortalized in disco lights and gold records. But behind the stage and fame, there were stories never shared, relationships never fully understood, and rumors that lingered long after his passing. Now, with the courage that only time can bring, Robin Gibb's children are lifting the veil. They confirm truths that fans have long speculated about, painting a more complete and often surprising picture of the man behind the music. This is not just a story of celebrity. It is a story of legacy, love, and the hidden of a life that the world thought it knew. The question everyone has been asking for years: what really happened in Robin Gibb's private world? The answers are finally coming to light. 13 years have passed since Robin Gibb, the legendary BG, left the world, yet his presence is still keenly felt by millions of fans. His music, with its soaring falsetto and unforgettable harmonies, continues to define an era, but the private life of Robin Gibb remained a mystery to most. Behind the global fame, the glittering lights, and the stage performances, there were secrets, relationships, and stories that only his family truly understood. For years, speculation swirled around Robin's personal life. Rumors circulated about his health, finances, and intimate relationships. Yet no definitive confirmation ever emerged. He was private, protective, and careful to maintain boundaries between his public persona and his private world. Fans assumed the man they adored on stage lived a life as polished and orderly as his performances. The reality, as his children now reveal, was far more nuanced. Robin's children, grown, articulate, and determined to tell the story from their perspective, have decided to speak. Their revelations shed light on parts of their father's life that were always whispered about but never fully confirmed. These truths are not scandalous for shock value, but deeply human, rooted in love, conflict, and family dynamics that shaped their understanding of the man behind the music. The decision to speak was not easy. For years, Robin's legacy was carefully curated by family, colleagues, and the media. To break that silence risked controversy, misinterpretation, and renewed scrutiny. But time, perspective, and a desire for honesty compelled his children to confirm the rumors that had lingered for over a decade. What they reveal is both surprising and illuminating. It is a portrait of a father, a performer, and a man whose life was far more layered than the public ever imagined. Robin's experiences, struggles, and relationships were complex, filled with triumph and vulnerability. While the world remembered the star who could command stages across the globe, his children knew the man who could be tender, flawed, protective, and deeply human. Lays the groundwork for understanding why these revelations matter. It is not simply about confirming rumors. It is about presenting a full, honest picture of Robin Gibb, beyond the fame, beyond the music, and beyond the myths that had built up in his absence. By stepping forward, his children reclaim the narrative, ensuring that their father is remembered not only as a global icon but as a human being whose life, like all lives, contained layers unseen by the public eye. As Robin Gibb's children begin to speak, the first revelations are both intimate and illuminating. The rumors that have circulated for years about his personal relationships, his struggles behind the scenes, and decisions that shaped his family life are now given clarity, context, and confirmation. What emerges is a portrait of a man who was fiercely private, deeply devoted in his own way, and human in ways the public rarely saw. One of the most persistent rumors involved Robin's approach to fatherhood and family responsibilities. For years, speculation suggested that his fame and touring schedule created distance between him and his children. The truth, as they now share, is more nuanced. Robin's absence was not due to neglect, but to the relentless demands of an international career that required constant travel, performances, and studio time. He loved his children deeply, yet balancing global superstardom with family life created unavoidable gaps. His children acknowledged this reality without bitterness, framing it as the trade-off of extraordinary success. Other revelations focus on aspects of Robin's personal relationships that the public never fully understood. His children confirmed tensions, misunderstandings, and moments of private conflict that fueled speculation for years. These were not scandals designed for attention, they were human struggles. Disagreements over career choices, differences in personality, and the challenges of navigating fame while maintaining a cohesive family unit. Through these disclosures, a more complete understanding emerges of a man who is loving but complex, disciplined yet emotionally guarded. Health concerns and lifestyle choices also contributed to the rumors. Robin's later years were marked by challenges that he often kept hidden from the public, and these absences fueled speculation. His children explained that the physical and emotional strain of decades in the music industry affected his behavior and accessibility, deepening misunderstandings. These candid admissions humanize a figure often idolized in perfection, showing the real impact of fame on an individual and his loved ones. Financial and professional decisions, too, were often misunderstood by outsiders. The children clarify that certain choices fueled rumors about greed or conflict, but in reality, these decisions were often pragmatic measures to protect the family and secure their legacy. Robin was meticulous about his career and its long-term implications, and sometimes that meticulousness was misinterpreted as coldness or detachment. Dalt emphasizes the importance of perspective. For Robin's children, speaking out is about setting the record straight, not seeking scandal. They aim to contextualize the rumors in a way that honors their father's memory while offering the public a more accurate understanding of his life. The goal is clarity, not controversy, to show that fame does not erase humanity, and that even the most celebrated figures face private struggles, misunderstandings, and the challenge of balancing personal and professional demands. By confirming these long-standing rumors, Robin Gibb's children are doing more than answering questions. They are reclaiming a narrative that has been shaped by speculation, half-truths, and media assumptions. They provide insight into the man behind the music, offering the kind of intimate perspective only those closest to him could provide. The revelations paint a picture of Robin as a father, a performer, and a human being whose life was complex, compelling, and profoundly influential both in and out of the spotlight. For Robin Gibb's children, confirming the rumors is not just about clarifying facts, it is about reconciling memory, grief, and legacy. 13 years after his death, they have had the distance and perspective to process both the public's perception and the private reality of their father. Speaking openly is a way to honor him, to give voice to experiences that were long misunderstood, and to acknowledge the complexities of life behind fame. The emotional weight of these revelations is significant. Growing up with a father whose life was lived partly on stage and partly in secrecy was a delicate balance. They experienced both the privilege of being close to a music legend and the challenges of navigating a private world shaped by extraordinary pressures. As children, they often had to reconcile admiration for his talent with confusion over his absences, moods, and guardedness. Only now, as adults, can they articulate these experiences with clarity, empathy, and understanding. One of the most striking aspects they reveal is the duality of Robin's life, the public icon versus the private father. On stage, he was commanding, confident, and larger than life. Off stage, he could be vulnerable, exhausted, and emotionally complex. His children describe moments of tenderness alongside times of distance, nuances that the public never saw. By sharing these stories, they humanize him, showing that behind the falsetto and the fame was a man grappling with the same struggles, pressures, and desires that define any human life. The children also reflect on the impact of these truths on their own lives. Growing up amidst rumors and speculation, they often felt the need to protect both their father's reputation and their own privacy. Confirming the long-standing whispers is, in part, a release, a way to reclaim the narrative and to ensure that Robin's life is remembered with honesty rather than assumption. It is a balancing act between truth and respect, revelation and reverence. Their hope is that the public can now see Robin Gibb in full, not just as a legendary performer, but as a father, a husband, and a human being whose life contained triumphs and struggles, joy and pain. By providing context for the rumors, they aim to shift perception from scandal to understanding. Fame often distorts reality, they explain, making ordinary human challenges seem extraordinary or contentious. Their father's story, when told with nuance, becomes a lesson in empathy, perspective, and the humanity behind the celebrity. Underscores the emotional dimension of Robin Gibb's legacy. Confirming the rumors is not about sensationalism, it is about honesty, healing, and clarity. His children hope that fans, media, and historians alike will appreciate the full scope of his life, a man whose talent inspired millions, whose personal struggles were hidden from view, and whose love for his family was profound, even if expressed in ways the public could not always perceive. Through these reflections, a new understanding emerges. Fame does not simplify relationships, nor does it erase human complexity. Robin Gibb's life was layered, and only by examining both the public triumphs and the private realities can the full story be understood. By speaking now, his children ensure that this story is told with care, compassion, and authenticity, an honest tribute to a father whose life was extraordinary in every dimension. 13 years after Robin Gibb's death, his children are finally offering the full picture, a perspective shaped by time, love, and reflection. Focuses on closure, legacy, and the lessons they hope the world takes from their father's life. Beyond the stage, the fame, and the public speculation, for Robin's children, confirming the long-standing rumors is an act of both honesty and reverence. It is not intended to sensationalize his life, but to humanize him. They want the public to see the man behind the music, a father who loved fiercely, a husband who cared deeply, and a person who navigated immense pressures with courage, even when that meant keeping certain aspects of his life private. Fame had created boundaries, but it never diminished his love for his family or his dedication to his craft. In reflecting on their father's life, his children emphasized the dualities that defined him. Robin Gibb was a superstar with global recognition, yet he was also human, capable of vulnerability, moments of doubt, and private struggles. His falsetto could command arenas, yet his presence at home could be quiet, tender, and protective. These contrasts shaped their childhoods and their understanding of him, and sharing them now is a way to reconcile the complexities of memory with the enduring impact of his legacy. The revelations also provide clarity on the rumors that have circulated for over a decade. What was once speculation is now grounded in truth, explained through context and perspective. Robin's children want the world to understand that fame often magnifies ordinary challenges, and that private struggles, whether related to family, health, or personal decisions, can easily be misinterpreted. By addressing these matters openly, they restore balance to the story, showing that Robin's life was rich, layered, and far more nuanced than anyone could assume from the outside. Legacy is central too. Robin Gibb's music continues to inspire generations, but his children want his humanity to be remembered alongside his talent. They hope fans and historians alike recognize that the man who wrote, sang, and performed with extraordinary skill was also a father navigating the demands of family life, relationships, and personal growth. These truths do not diminish his achievements. They enrich them, revealing a figure whose life was both extraordinary and profoundly human. Finally, that conveys the message of empathy, perspective, and understanding. Fame does not erase the need for love, guidance, and emotional presence. By speaking now, Robin's children provide the world with insight into the private man behind the public icon, offering lessons about resilience, humanity, and the complexities of balancing personal and professional life. They hope that audiences appreciate the full scope of his story, understanding that behind every legend is a human life complete with joys, struggles, successes, and regrets. Leaves readers with a lasting reflection. Robin Gibb was more than the sum of his fame and accolades. He was a father, a husband, a son, and a human being whose life, like any, contained layers of depth unseen by the public eye. Through his children's voice, the world now has a chance to see him as they did: remarkable, flawed, loving, and enduringly human. In confirming the rumors, they do more than clarify facts. They honor a legacy, preserve memory, and invite the world to understand the man behind the music with compassion, respect, and truth.